singers, I'm Sara Lee, this is singingtv.com. Together, you and I, we are making singing simple. I wanted to discuss something today. I wrote a little blog post about it. I'm going to read it to you because basically I just want to have this discussion about an article you may have seen, a couple of articles on the website consequenceofsound.net. And what it did was the writer, Chris Copeland, listed a number of singers by their range and called them the greatest singers of all time. To me, there's a problem with that that's inherent there, that basically he's making a comparison or an assumption saying that how wide your range is somehow equates to how good a singer you are, which is a totally preposterous presumption, because one does not necessarily at all equal the other. So let's discuss this. I'd definitely be interested in hearing your comments. I know we've talked in another episode, a previous episode, about ranges, and that I see a lot of people expecting to have a 4 or 5 octave range when 2.5 octaves is about average, and something generally you should be pretty pleased with. So let's read the article, and I'll be interested to hear and read your comments on YouTube and Twitter. Please do ask your questions on Twitter. We've got a lot of emails coming in, some tweets coming in now that I'm starting to answer by video blog. So what I said is I've noticed several Facebook friends posted these articles, and then I listed the links there. And if you're interested in seeing it, you can go to the Singing TV Facebook page. And I go on to say the inherent problem here is that the writers of these articles equate whether a singer is great or not with his or her range, which is a ridiculous presumption. While range is certainly one part of a singer's voice, it isn't necessarily range that's a determining factor for greatness or for anything else. And for that matter, there's no such thing as being the greatest singer anyway. Art is subjective, and that's part of its beauty. Who you think is the greatest singer might not be who I think is the greatest singer, and that's what's so great about it, is that we can all, there's room for all types of music. So art is subjective, and hasn't the writer ever heard of the saying, it's all about the size of the boat, not the motion of the ocean, which, of course, has a different meaning colloquially, but that is to say that who cares about a singer's range as much as what he or she does with it. To take the point further, by publishing the articles, writer Chris Copeland just furthers the public assumption that singing high notes, or low ones for that matter, somehow makes a singer better or more deserving of recognition. Again, a ridiculous assumption. Just because you can sing high doesn't necessarily mean you're a good singer. It also furthers the wrong assumption that singers should have wide ranges. Most singers have about a 2.5 octave range, and for the most part shouldn't be pushing to widen their ranges without serious practice or the guidance of a teacher who works very, very slowly and incrementally. Which is to say, you shouldn't be widening your range either on the low or the high end without slow work and guidance. If that's something you're interested in doing, it's something that needs to be very, very slow, incremental work, half step by half step, that should be done over weeks at a time, not a week or something like that. So anyway, I'm really interested in hearing what your thoughts are on the article. Please feel free to go over to the Facebook page for Singing TV. It's just facebook.com/singingtv. You can read the articles there, and I'm interested in what you think about that. Do you equate a singer's range with how good they are or aren't? I had sort of stopped doing the question of the day thing, but let's bring it back today. Question of the day. Do you equate a singer's range with how good he or she is? Please leave a comment on YouTube or at singingtv.com. Tweet me up at singingtv or the Facebook page too. Don't forget to tweet your questions so I can make some video blogs about it here at Singing TV. I'm Sara Lee. This is singingtv.com. Together, you and I, we're making singing simple.